Good morning guys, and welcome back to another episode of your mum's favourite series on YouTube. Now it's about 6:45 and you joined me this morning on Buchanan Street in Glasgow. Now the reason I'm starting the video here is because KB Trading has just taken on an office in the building right behind me, and you're probably wondering what's going on, so let's jump inside and I'll talk you through it. Let's do it. New ride. I've not been on a bike in ages. We take it down the stairs. Just take a step back. Come on. 3, 2. Get on. Before we get into the video, I want to take a quick second to talk to you a little bit about what KB Trading offers. Now, many of you will know about KB from our Instagram, or from our YouTube, or perhaps even our trading floors here in Glasgow. But what many don't know is that KB Trading offers extremely high quality trading education. Over the next minute or so, I'm going to talk to you about our two most popular options. The first option is an extremely flexible monthly membership pass. For just £50 per month, you'll gain access to 3 Telegram groups, a community chat group where our members can socialise and share ideas, a trades and analysis channel where myself and some of the more experienced traders will share daily trades and analysis, and we also run a live stream each morning. And lastly, a weekly workshop group where you'll gain access to a library of videos where I break down trading techniques and principles. Now the second option is the KB Trading Advanced Trader video course. The Advanced Trader video course has more than 22 video modules breaking down in detail from the basics to the more advanced trading principles we use, giving you a complete outline of our trading strategy from start to finish. Now the Advanced Trader course is priced at £399 and also includes all of the benefits of the monthly membership pass. If you'd like to look at any of these options, it's going to be the top link in the description. Now let's get on with the video. Now we did actually try and film this day in the life yesterday. However, it was about 4,000 degrees here in Glasgow, so everyone was super unproductive. And then, mid-afternoon, we, went out for a few drinks and stuff like that as well. So I'm going to be refilming it today and breaking down, why we've made this move and what's going on at KB Trading going forward. But first, we need to get our prep work done for the day ahead. So as you may be able to tell by my surroundings, unless you're an absolute madman, we're in a different office. Now, to kind of explain the process behind that, I mean, it feels like, we move office every single quarter, but to explain the kind of process behind that, the reason we've done it, and how that all played out, basically we were coming towards the end of our 12-month lease with our previous landlord in our previous building. And so, I was on the market to see what was out there and what was available in Glasgow. And this office became available, and to be honest, I pretty much couldn't say no to it. Our previous office, obviously, much different vibe. We done a lot of the design work. We had, panoramic city views from the 9th floor. It was really, really awesome. But there was times where it could feel a little bit secluded, a little bit locked away. Whereas this office is the complete other end of the spectrum. It's very, very bright, it's very central. And we're coming into summer here in Scotland, right? The city is getting very, very lively, and it's really, really cool to be able to just, open the windows. We're only on the 3rd floor here, to open the windows and really kind of soak in that, summer buzz that you have going about on the street. So for those of you who, you're maybe not familiar with Scotland or Glasgow, 2 of the biggest streets in Glasgow are Argyle Street and Buchanan Street. So we are right on the corner of where these 2 streets intersect. You have Argyle Street like this and Buchanan Street like this, and our office is right here on that corner. So right on the intersection of 2 of the biggest streets in Glasgow. Really, really cool location, and just something we couldn't say no to. Now this is a really positive step in the right direction for KB, and obviously I wanted to pick up the camera, I wanted to fill you guys in. You've been here pretty much since the start of the journey. And so I'm going to be giving you these kind of regular progress updates. So that pretty much wraps up this little sort of business and life update. We do have a live morning analysis call that we do with our members every morning. So I'm going to get on with that, and then I'm going to pick up the camera again, give you a little walk around to the office, and I'm also going to take you through 2 trades that I took in the past couple of weeks as well. You do have a zone of structure there, so my concern would be that you'd be stopping out into those highs below market, you know.
Just playing out, and then but I'm looking to get short from if we can break this area here.
Yeah.
2 touches, I made like another touch and then a breakthrough and then sell the weakness through that and this goal.
Now over the past couple of weeks, whilst arranging the office move and actually carrying it out, I've taken a little bit of a step back from trading. You know, I always want to be coming at the markets from a position of strength, you know, from a position of advantage. And so, you know, if I'm not at my desk with all my screens and, you know, my squawk and all that kind of stuff, I do feel like I'm at a bit of a disadvantage, but my attention is divided. You know, obviously there was a lot of stresses and things to organise for this office move. And so my mind couldn't just be absolutely 100% on the ball. So I've not been super active in the markets, but I did manage to get into setups via pending order. And that resulted in a 2.8R on Aussie dollar. Let's just see if I can get the screen to focus here. A 2.8R there on Aussie dollar, and then a 1.1R on Euro Yen, which actually got taken out on a trailed stop yesterday. So I'm going to move over onto my charts now and give you a run through of these 2 trades. Most of you will know that I do execute and analyse on MetaTrader. However, I'm going to be using TradingView as it's just a little bit easier to walk you through sort of candle by candle using the replay function. Let's get into it. So we're going to start off here on Aussie dollar. Now, from the higher time frame, we had a daily bearish engulfing. You know, most of you will know by now, I trade very, very simple support and resistance. So I have a couple of daily levels drawn on here in grey. And then we have, you know, a little bit of a head and shoulders forming here. Right, neckline down here. Bearish engulfing up here just above this swing point. So the initial trade idea that I'm thinking about when I see this market is to look for price to run down to that next swing point. And so that's the kind of trade that I'm looking to get involved with. So I've got my higher time frame bias in place, dropping down onto the 60-minute. What I want to then look for is areas of structure above market that I think, you know, we could get a reaction from. And straight away, you know, I can see one here, I can see one here. There may be, you know, various bits of support along here that will be resistance as we trade back up into it. You know, so you can see we do have a little bit of a zone, something like that. Now, the way I'd typically do this is I'd look for the super obvious levels of structure and I'd actually just mark them out. I do my H1 levels with a dashed blue line like so. And then I'd be looking for some fib confluence to help me determine where I'm going to trade from. Now in this situation, I can see that I've got 2 areas of structure with fib confluence. We have this area here with 38.2 fib, and we have this area up here with 61.8 fib. So whatever I do, I have to be conscious of the fact that we do have an area of structure above market, you know, a couple areas of structure above market with fib confluence. So I'm looking to get in a trade, and the level that I decide to trade from is this little low in here. Right, so it's just the top end of this zone of resistance, right, that the market's going to encounter on the way back up. A little zone like that, it's just the top end of that zone. Now bear in mind, we do still have that level of structure above, so when I'm putting in a stop, I need to factor that in, and that stop loss is going just above that candle high there. And again, I'm targeting that next level down. So even though I'm only looking to trade from here, my stop loss has to take into account the fact that price could react from that structure above market. As the market moves forward, you see we trade into that zone, we get filled pretty much to the pip there, and then we begin to move off. Now, this market did actually trade sideways for multiple days, and it's at this point that I'm beginning to think about moving a stop loss, right? Most of you will know I don't move stops to break even. That is not a move that I believe is effective or provides an edge in the markets over time. You know, if you want to learn a little bit more about that, you can check out the Advanced Trader course. But my stop goes above this bearish engulfing candle here. You see the market does try for lower initially and gets bought up off of that low before trading sideways for another few days. And then we began to put in this rather daunting rally just ahead of the FOMC meeting. This was on a Wednesday. You'll see we do punch higher and we nearly take the trailed stop there, which is that red line. The market then puts in a shooting star, and then a couple of candles later, you see we punch down very, very aggressively to target for a 2.8 hour trade. And if I just take you forward to where we are now, you can see, we've collapsed several, a couple hundred pips since then. But that's the trade I was looking for, got my target hit. That's exactly what I was looking for, just to get that little slice between this point of structure and this point of structure. So now to take you through Euro Yen. Euro Yen was a very, very simple break and retest of a level. You can see here on this daily time frame, we've got support, a little bit of a head and shoulders neckline in there as well. Head and shoulders neckline coming in here. So we've got a little bit of a support level that the market's trading back up into. If I just take a fib from the swing high to the swing low as well, you can see we do have 61.8 fib confluence coming in right around this area. And so again, I'm going to mark out that zone, and I want to investigate that on a lower time frame. Now, given that the market is still pretty bullish and we don't have any real higher time frame bias to be short, other than we expect a bit of a reaction from this level, I'm only going to trade this down into the next area of structure, which isn't really super clear on this time frame, but I would imagine between this low here and this high here, there is a little bit of a zone of resistance. And so, I'm kind of plotting that out on this daily, and I'm going to investigate that on the H1. Now, as we move down to the H1 here, 60-minute time frame, you can see this level that I've drawn in has some support lows back here. And then if I track forward, you can see it's these resistance highs here as well. So I'm going to look at that price action there, where we've formed that bit of a resistance level, and that's going to be my target on the way back down. Now again, I know that we have 61.8 fib confluence in that zone, but I always want to be trading, from the furthest away level that I can get within that zone, and so I choose this little swing low here, right? So pending order to get short from there, and again, very, very similar principle to what I applied in Aussie. I can see that there's a level of structure above market in here. You've got various support lows here and here and here. My stop has to be beyond that zone, and I choose to put it just above this little candle here, right? Relatively impulsive conviction candle down through structure. That's a good stop for me, and the target's just going to be this next level here, right? Next daily level of structure. Now, as we track forward into the coming days, you'll see that the market does punch higher. I get filled on that pending order, and you can see we do try and push away relatively quickly from that area. Just going to remove that zone to keep the charts nice and tidy here. And you'll see, we track sideways for 4 or 5 days, right? This is typically, a very, very long-term trade for me. At this point, we're beginning to put in a little bit of a wedge or a pennant, like so. And it's starting to look relatively bullish. I'm starting to think we could potentially break out to the upside here. But as always, you have to play it by ear, see what the market gives you. At this point, I'm just going to adjust that slightly. And it's now at this point that I'm thinking, I really don't want to be in this trade for much longer. I've already been holding for 4 days, and it's a short while after that we get the market punch down through this pattern, right? We also take out this next little level of structure in here with this candle here, and so my stop gets trailed simply just above that candle. This is the kind of effort. I'm looking for that impulsive breakout. I'm looking for that sharp move to the downside, and so my stop gets trailed to just the high of this candle. You'll see into the next day, price rallies up and takes my stop before making a relatively steady move straight down through target. So a little bit of a painful one there on Euro Yen, but I made that call to manage the trade in the way I did. Perhaps it was a little bit aggressive, but it's very easy to say in hindsight, your management was too aggressive, whatever. At the end of the day, I'm happy to take 1.1 R on that and 2.8 R on Aussie as well. So myself and Tim and Grant have just headed out for a coffee and a little bit of a stroll along the Clyde to enjoy some of this weather we're having in Glasgow, enjoy some of the scenery, and then we're going to head back to the office and give you that full kind of walkthrough breakdown of the new office and our sort of future plans and all that good stuff. So it's currently around about 5 p.m. and we're just getting ready to wrap up for the day. But as promised, I'm going to give you a quick kind of progress update and walkthrough of the office in its current state. Bear in mind, we did only move in 2 days ago and there's still a lot of work to do. So if you come in here, up to your left, first thing that we have up on the wall is actually a Financial Times from the day I was born. Callum got me this not long ago, and you can see we have it in 3 sections on each wall of the office in this sort of corner. This area here is going to be our sort of presentation area. For those of you who follow us or those of you who don't, we do kind of sit down presentations once a week where all of the traders will talk about, you know, what setups they took during the week and how they performed, you know, the P&L and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, discuss goals for the future. So this will be our kind of presentation area. We're hoping to have a couple of couches and a little coffee table, and it'd be a nice little area for any of the traders to meet up, you know, and have a coffee, just take a little break away from their desks and have a chat and all that good stuff. Now over in this corner, we have 4 of our desks set up currently. We still have 2 desks to get built to be attached onto the end of this. As you can see, we are still getting stuff set up. We also plan to have our logo on this wall here. So this is pretty similar to the desk setup that we had in our previous office. You can see the desk's a little bit of a mess, you know, from the lads working all day. Then over in this corner, you have my desk, my kind of little area. Again, not the tidiest. There is lots of cables and stuff like that everywhere. And then Jake's desk, Jake's desk in here is obviously nice and tidy. So he's just getting wrapped up for the day. And then in this corner over here, this is just where we're kind of dumping everything at the minute. So we've got boxes, you know, we've got a few spare screens and setups and all that kind of stuff as well. So as I said, you know, there's a lot of kind of work to do, and there's still a lot of things that we need to get sorted for the office. But that is pretty much where I'm going to wrap up this episode of Day in the Life, guys. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to drop it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Catch you next time.